Hello, Dirk.
Hello, Edgar.
You're getting cold, you said.
I am. I'm on short sleeves, but it's a bit of a cold day.
I'm dressed properly then. I thought you were a bit ambitious with your colds.
I'm an optimist. I was sort of thinking it's getting warmer, but not to say I actually love the cold in Toowoomba.
Yes.
Oh, I enjoyed it so much.
Beautiful.
So I hope it doesn't get too warm. I don't like it.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, hello everyone.
Hi.
Good morning. So October coming up.
Well, school is going to be finished. October is going to start. Who knows? I think, October, November, December, it's a nice little run of what are we going to do in the next term? And I reckon it would be good to start something that we're going to bring the whole church on.
Yes. So a positive change.
Well,
maybe an initiative.
An addition to...
Yes,
Look, I just think that, sometimes we want to give some leadership and saying we need to get into the word or, make these big statements. But I think Edgar and I have been talking and we've been sort of thinking that, we're going to be doing this and we want the whole church to come on, right?
Yeah.
So you can still do what you like as everybody has, their own options and their own wants and wishes.
Yes.
But something that has affected both Edgar and myself. Now, I'm going back many, many years since I've read it last.
Yeah,
is
me too.
Oswald Chambers.
Yeah, Oswald Chambers. And he's written a devotional, My Utmost for His Highest.
Yeah.
Which is basically a short devotion for every day of the year. And actually, it was compiled by his wife after he died. And it's one of the most popular, most published religious books ever. It's actually been translated into 39 languages. It's published, was it 35?
Wow.
35? And it's never been out of print. You can buy it anywhere. It's free online as well.
Yeah, so you can actually...
utmost.org.
So utmost, utmost.org. Utmost.
My utmost for his highest. And basically then just utmost.org. And I think he was preaching to soldiers as they were preparing to fight in World War One.
That's how old, but it's still very relevant.
In the middle of all that turmoil. And like, you preach differently when you preach to guys that may not come back.
Yes.
They go out for the day and in the evening they may not return. And they need to hear something that is real of God to actually sustain them. And I remember when I read that devotional for the first time, I was touched. It was feeding me.
Have you still got it on there? Because when we searched it, I was just wondering.
I just got it online.
What's the one for today? Is there, those...
I haven't got it.
No.
I'm not prepared. I'm not prepared.
Don't worry about it. We did look at it and we thought, hey, let's do this. And like I said, it's been many, many years. When I first started out of seminary into ministry, and I came across this devotional book. And it was radical. It was effective. It was kind of something. And I have to admit, I've missed it. It's always been in the back of my mind, thinking I've got to go back to that one again.
And with it's a year. It's very easy. You've got a book. You have a whole year of devotions, and you can do it again. A few years down the track. But I do remember it just gets you to another level of what it means to follow Jesus Christ and what the relationship with Him is like. And it was feeding me. And it could be a good idea if
for the whole church,
as a whole church, whoever hasn't really got a habit even of a devotion time, even if you got a devotion time, and it's longer, you can always add that one as well. It doesn't take that long. And I mean, that's what I do. I read this, I read that until I come across something that grabs me and speaks to me. And then I just continue with that. And, you can try, maybe this one actually speaks to us. And if we do it together, then we can talk about it. How did you find it?
So, 1st of October, I'm going to start. Are you going to start?
Yeah.
So, for the 1st of October, we're going to read Utmost.
My Utmost for His Highest. Yeah, you can buy the book.
Or online. And then, now and then, we're going to tune in on our normal chats to actually reflect on something like that too.
Every now and then, yes, we can do a morning chat on one of those devotions. Just remind ourselves that we're doing it.
Yeah.
But, it's great to be challenged by the same thing together, and like maybe even in the mini branch, like how did you go with this morning's devotion?
Yeah.
You know, how do you did it speak to you, and what does it mean? And so yeah, why not?
So it's a call out to everybody who's listening, whether you're doing it for yourself in the mini branches, whether you're just tuning in to the morning chats and want to see what we're going to talk about from time to time on this one, or simply because you're wondering, I haven't done a devotion or something like this, a reading plan or something that gets me into this for a long time, like me.
Yes.
Have you got one? Have you been...
No, I haven't. I haven't followed
it's
it.
time.
Yeah,
it's time.
It's good. It's good.
Let's do it.
And it's one of the most famous devotionals of all time. And there's probably a reason why it has spoken to so many people.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So when you pass away, will Penny do that with all of your sermons? Put a devotional together?
Maybe yours, but I don't know. But mine are all on CDs in different places. They've all recorded them, but I think they've gone into some archives, maybe in a box, maybe, I don't know, back onto the trash. Who knows what on earth has happened to them?
Where it's all happened,
yeah. You have a good discipline of writing those down. I had a discipline of focusing them, but actually making dot points, which doesn't actually, transfer into a book. But since I've been up here, I've actually been doing it. I've been writing it.
You're writing it. Yeah, I find when you write it out, because you forget, you think, all the sermon thoughts, you're really into it, but, 6 months down the track, you've forgotten so much. And if you put it down, you can remember.
Well, I always had this idea. This is quirky kind of stuff, but I didn't want to write them down because I knew of so many pastors who had a 3-year lectionary.
Yes.
They wrote them down and they just repeated them 3-year cycles.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I want to actually have a word of God that is fresh.
So you have a dusty manuscript that you've written 20 years ago. And that doesn't work.
It's got to be new. It's got to excite me.
And usually you're not the same person that you were 20 years ago. So you're preaching it differently. Right now I preach on heaven and hell. And it's probably the 3rd time I preach on it, and it's different. Yeah. And sometimes you preach something a number of times, and really only the penny drops even further than the 3rd time. It takes so long to really get things.
And sometimes it's the right kind of a season that you're in, or the right kind of place that you're in. And some places it's not just the right time, the right place. Nothing really is is appropriate for us to go and talk to that. But at the moment, for instance, for me, my preoccupation with the ministry of angels. But at other times in different places, they had the kind of like the New Age angels kind of stuff. It's like sort of thing. What a silly stuff like that. But here it seems to be God saying, now I want you actually to talk about it. And for me, the ministry of angels is at the moment a current thing. So it's, it needs to be fresh, doesn't it? Yeah,
whatever it is, that word got to be alive in you right now. It can't be an old word. It got to be in your heart. Yeah. Otherwise you can't preach it. There's something about, you got to be grabbed by it. Yeah. And then the Spirit is preaching through it. And
well, what I have actually loved in this year of tag teaming with you in sermons is that it's been on a theme, on something that God stirs, right? Whereas all the 30 years it's been a lectionary. What's 3-year readings that we have from whatever it is, and just choose one or combine them or whatever it is. But you actually sort of set readings and you follow that.
Yeah.
But here it's been, what is God saying to you now for the church?
And isn't it amazing how varied it is?
Yeah.
Because you can go back the 20 years, and even though it's not lectionary, they're hardly 2 Sundays alike. Yeah. And the scripture passages are from all over. Yeah. So God is faithful. You can trust Him. Yeah. He'll do it. But, so contradicting everything we just said, John Wesley, in his diary, notes, whatever, basically, he preached this very same sermon for 30 years, 40 years. Like, he wrote a number of sermons, and he kept traveling with them. And he said even in old age, I can't write it better than that.
Edgar, I've got to tell you a joke. It's like there's this new pastor came to the parish. Yeah. Right? So it's the elders and the council, they had made their decision, and now he's arrived, and they're all excited. The first sermon.
Yes.
And it's like, the church was full. It's like, the new pastor's there and he preaches the sermon. And it's like, everyone comes and says, oh, shaking their hands. Well done. Good sermon. It's like, awesome. So the week continued and next Sunday came around. And he goes up there and he preaches the same sermon. And the elders and the council were looking at each other thinking, well, obviously, he must have forgotten that, he just pulled out the same sermon. Maybe he had a busy week because he's new, okay, well, we'll let it go. When they shook his hand and said, oh, looking at, good sermon. I think I heard that one before, didn't I? As well, part this, like, the week went, next Sunday came around, he preached the same sermon.
Here we go.
And
how many Sundays did he do that?
The elders were getting upset and having a little chat behind. It's like, what are we doing with him? He only has this one sermon. He preaches it all the time. But they still didn't have the guts to actually say, okay, Pastor, what's going on here? So they let this one go. Fourth Sunday, same sermon. This time they had enough and they had a bit of a council meeting, brought the pastor in and says, what is this? The same sermon, Sunday after Sunday after Sunday. And he said, well, are you doing it yet?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's true. Like, in many ways, we don't really need to hear new things. We've got to do the old ones.
Well, it's a bit like James, stop being hearers of the word, become doers of the word.
So, and actually believe it. Yeah.
So that's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah, but we're not doing that, hey.
No, but with the devotion, it's kind of like, let's get back into some things that stir us.
Yeah.
And become doers of the word. So have something that feeds into us. And as a whole church, we're all actually getting the same message as we do in sermons and now with devotion.
I like Oswald Chambers. In a way, it's raw, it's radical, it's the real stuff. He's not, when you talk to people that may die on that very day, you choose your words carefully. And he was anointed to do that and to be under that kind of word, under that type of fire. I reckon we will all benefit.
So download or get the book. On the 1st of October, we're starting and we're going to continue to
and so we just start basically, towards the end of the book, we start on 1st of October and then we
just keep on going.
And then January and do it. Hey, I hope everyone enjoys that idea and maybe trying it out. See.
Definitely a good conversation to be had.
Yeah, exactly.
What did you get out of this one?
Exactly. Exactly.
All right, bye everyone.
Okay, have a great day. Bye.